for Ellen by S B Merrow. That far-off summer of '61, suntanned mad on Mayo Beach, our salty bodies twin boys above the rippled floor of the bay, whose wavy fathoms lifted us, girls of 7, who even then knew something of frailty. Your sunny tendrils of mermaid hair weightless as song, we are dolphins. Arms stretched into snouts, the rest are muscles afterthought. Legs clamped together as fins, we dive along the shore, probing the endless ocean. This solstice, a sharp-beaked falcon tops the elm. Unworried about future or past, he hails the darkness with keck-keck accompaniment, cocks an eye to meet our gaze, turning yellow breast into the glow above the houses, while our grown-up hands, featherless and finless, bundle cold greens, juniper and yew, spruce, magnolia, into looping garlands, the fires around us still burning.
In the Rocks by Lynn White. It was a small gap in the rocks, dry and bare for a time, in waiting for the tide to turn and the sea to wash through to leave it not quite dry. A trickle of salt water left behind, salt tears running down a face, pooling below, full of life, full of creatures brought back to earth. Tears can sometimes do that, temporarily.
Ni Aquí ni Allá, A.J. Bermudez. The water is warmer than she remembers, frothing with a Castile soap sheen of detritus. Beside her, the girl chalks a moon-shaped indent in the hull of the raft with her nail. Opalescent on dark skin, freckled with salt. Where will we say we are from? The girl asks. Ni aquí ni allá. And where are we going? In the distance, a clutter of buildings, ships, rafts sprout from the hazy arc of the earth. She considers the sky, aching blue, every colour at once, imagines it shedding like a snake, flecks of clouds like skin on the surface of the sea. The world is not a ball, but a mountain. But where are we going? In her eyes are not water, but forests. Every tree that will one day be a book, an atlas, a dwelling.
Beach clean. This year, we only find left-footed shoes. We wonder where all the right ones have gone and how we'd walk without them. The slower we move, the more we discover, sifting through plastic ruins, freeing bladderwrack from the choke of net. We find a piece shaped just like Bridget's cross underneath some quartz stones. A sign, you say. Put it in your pocket. Following the trail of shore crab moths, we reach washed up goat willow, roots already darkening. One branch shows sign of life in leaves and catkin. A gentle tap releases the seeds, carrying them up shore like snowflakes hoping for ground. The sea wind brushes the sky with grey. they'd promised rain. There's comfort in the uncertainty of the sky, the fall of the first thunder drops, and the smell of this summer's rain.
Deep Blue Sea, Linda McMullen. The resort offers a limited array of beverages with paper umbrellas in exchange for mild to moderate attention during their mandatory 3:45 timeshare presentation. I select a sweating azure glass after the commission-fed minions conclude their low-pressure pitch. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right now. Maddie brushes Rainbow Dash's muzzle against my unshaved calves for the 12th time. I fantasize about grinding the Pegasus wannabes into glitter beneath my heel. Can we go swimming now, Mommy? Before you go, interjects a blonde salesman whose only possible name is Chad, I'd love to show you a 1-bedroom plus loft just available. Sorry, I reply, as Maddie repeats her demand with increasing speed, ferocity, and volume. I'd better get someone out of here. This unit has its own pool, Chad begins, causing Maddie to pause. My paper umbrella dissolves in a swirl of curacao mid-sip, and I set my beverage down. Look, I won this getaway weekend in a prize draw at Chili's. Maddie and I ate there after my now ex-husband embezzled enough to fully escape our daughter's teen years in a medium security facility, but not enough to secure a lavish exile in Argentina. So I'm not really in a position to commit right now. Chad's 1-week Gordon Gekko-like training somehow failed to cover this particular eventuality. Mommy, can we? Yes, Maddie. Wake, breakfast, cartoons, pool, bathroom break, pool, snack, pool, bathroom break, pool. 5 minutes later, back to the bathroom, pool, lunch. Screams that I am unfair and she is bored and everything is horrible because I insist on walking up the minuscule main street for an hour before returning to the pool. Maddie extorted 4 new ponies in exchange for a restrained fracas. Truthfully, I got as far as the clinic walkway 7 years ago. The protesters had taken the day off. No gauntlet of signs blazed before me. They might have stoked my courage. Instead, hasty cubic zirconia, courthouse smoke break, matchbox sublet. Goodbye to making partner. Pool! Bathroom. Pool! Snack. 30 minutes of my enduring amazement that she doesn't go horse. High needs, special needs, emotionally needy in the face of an absent father. Spin the wheel of bottomless requirement. Also, Maddie doesn't swim. Won't, can't. I exist only to bear her at a mermaid height through her aquamarine realm. Pool! After her, Hugh's newfound careerism. He hissed shit, tripping over Maddie's plastic detritus as he departed from and returned to our dark apartment. And also when the red and blue lights traced the popcorn of our bedroom ceiling. Pool! Now 4 tween boys risk cracked skulls by cannonballing into the 4-foot depths. Maddie shrieks as the splashes sting her eyes, then cries when I suggest another activity. What if we try the beach for a few minutes, I ask. Another torrent hits her face. She coughs, sputters, nods. The ponies apparently change color in water. Maddie consents to drown, revive them independently, while I recline on a towel and order a new deep blue sea martini, sans parapluie. Maddie wades out into the blue, to submerge her ponies herself. The drink is 8/10 pineapple juice. A small stream of bubbles liberates itself from her lips. At a plausible distance, I mull the possible headlines. Beachside tragedy. Too late, but not her fault. Not her fault. I set the drink down, execute a few quick strokes, pull Maddie out, beat her only a little too hard on the back. She smiles wanly at me as the ponies drift back to shore.
Piano Lessons by Claire Booker. She smelt of stale biscuits, had fingers the colour of custard. We sat tandem on the piano stool while gap-toothed children stared from the wall clutching certificates. It was only a matter of time, she promised. Some children took to it quickly, some not. Sharps and flats basked like crocodiles in the shallows, pulled me kicking under the water. "Follow the beat," she intoned, as the metronome clicked its tongue, forced me to sprint when all I could do was limp. We started on the Bluebell Waltz in May, a slippery little tune with killer teeth. I howled inside at each wrong note as if I'd killed a bird. We hammered away at it through June until she licked her pencil and rechristened the piece Rose Waltz, as though the seasons could hide my shame. Flowers kept blooming across the score. Mistletoe Waltz arrived for Christmas when she gave me a little book of gardening in tissue paper. Think of the pedal as an extra hand. But there wasn't room in my head for 3 hands, and snowdrops began to break out. The sheet music with its many scrawls stood open in readiness. She paused, but didn't pick up the pencil. "Have you thought of telling your mother you'd like to stop?" We looked at each other in wonder. I could never have thought of that.
This is Sea of Fortune. I'm Sharon Lazibyrd. Sea of Fortune, where do you flow? When we're at our lowest ebb, you still come and you still go. Can this tide be turned? And if it is, what will be learned? Can this tide be turned? And if it is, what will be learned? I may be sat inside 4 walls, the birds still know to sing, at night time it still falls. Can this tide be turned? And if it is, what will be learned? Can this tide be turned? And if it is, what will be learned? Times go by turns, and changes chance by course. From foul to fair, from better hap to worse. Can this tide be turned? And if it is, what will be learned? Can this tide be turned? And if it is, what will be learned? We can sow seeds and watch them grow. In small change itself, some happiness will show. Can this tide be turned? And if it is, what will be learned? Can this tide be turned? And if it is, what will be learned? Yes, this tide will turn. It's up to us what we can learn. Yes, this tide will turn. It's up to us what we can learn.